You know, there's a reason people say the forest never truly sleeps. When the fire burns low and the night presses close, that's when it wakes. They say if you stare too long into the darkness, you'll see a pair of eyes staring back. Not glowing, not human, just there, waiting. And if you break eye contact, if you dare to blink, that's when it moves. Some swear they've heard footsteps circling the fire, soft as fallen leaves. Others never got the chance to tell their story. So tonight, keep the fire high, and whatever you do, don't look away. Imagine a hunger so deep that it consumes not only your body, but your soul. A hunger that twists men into monsters. In the frozen forests of North America, people whisper of such a creature, a being cursed to wander forever, starving, devouring, never satisfied. They call it the Wendigo. The legend comes from the Algonquian-speaking peoples, tribes such as the Ojibwe, the Cree, and the Innu. For centuries, they lived in the harsh northern winters, where food was scarce and survival was never guaranteed. The Wendigo was more than a monster. It was a warning told around the fire. If a person gave in to desperation, if they ate the flesh of another human, they would be cursed. Their heart would turn ice, their spirit would twist, and they would rise again as a Wendigo. No two stories describe the Wendigo the same way. Among the Cree and Ojibwe, it is gaunt and skeletal, its skin stretched tight across bone, its lips torn, eyes glowing with hunger. Among the Innu, it grows taller with every meal, towering above the trees, crowned with antlers, a giant shadow in the snow. And in some whispers, the Wendigo looks no different than an ordinary man, until it's too late. Each tribe's version reflects what they feared most: famine, betrayal, or spiritual corruption. And perhaps that is what makes the Wendigo so powerful. It is not one monster, but many. Still, some features remain the same across all tellings. The Wendigo is cursed with a heart of ice. Its hunger can never be satisfied. The more it eats, the hungrier it becomes, a symbol of starvation and of greed. The terror of the Wendigo even reached psychology. Missionaries and settlers recorded cases of what they called Wendigo psychosis. People who, after long winters of starvation, developed an uncontrollable craving for human flesh and a haunting fear that they themselves were becoming Wendigos. Though debated today, these stories show how deeply the legend gripped the human mind. Across the frozen north, many stories speak of the Wendigo. Hunters who vanished in the snow, families torn apart by unseen forces. One of the most famous tales is that of Swift Runner, a Cree trapper in the late 1800s. When winter starved his family, he turned to cannibalism. When authorities found him, he confessed that something had taken hold of him, that he could not resist the hunger. His people said the Wendigo had claimed him. Others tell of villages haunted at night by a Wendigo that circled their camp. Its voice, thin and stretched, called the people by name. Those who followed into the forest were never seen again. They say a Wendigo is near when the air suddenly grows colder, when the smell of rot drifts on the wind, when you hear your own name whispered from the trees. If you hear it, do not follow, because the Wendigo is already watching. The Wendigo is more than just a monster. It is greed made flesh. It represents hunger without end. Not just the hunger for food, but the hunger for power, for wealth, for more than what we need. The story is a lesson. That greed can consume us. That to take more than what is needed is to lose our humanity. Even today, the Wendigo has not vanished. It appears in horror films and games like Until Dawn, in shows like Supernatural, and in chilling movies such as Ravenous. But many native voices remind us these are distortions. The Wendigo is not just a Hollywood monster. It is a cultural warning, a mirror held up to our own greed. The Wendigo is more than a legend. It is a warning carved into the soul of the land. It reminds us that hunger and greed live not only in the forest, but inside of us. So the next time you find yourself walking in the woods alone, listen carefully. If you hear your name carried on the wind, you may already be too late.